big contest, not just in this country, but around the world, about who we are. And I prefer a story that says we care about each other and we are connected and that we treat each other with respect. And all children should be nurtured. And all girls deserve an education. And truth matters. And free speech matters. And rule of law matters. And we don't believe in corruption and leaders lining their own pockets. And we don't believe in going after ethnic groups or particular religions, because we think that everybody should be able to practice their faiths and shouldn't be judged by what they look like or what their last name is. That's the world I prefer. I believe in. And I think you do too. I know Joe does. And that's the world we're going to have to fight for. So,
could I add one thing, Mr. President, I learned from you? Remember the first time you and I got invited over, quote, to the tank that is over in the Pentagon to meet with our top military leaders in this secure room in the Pentagon. And they wanted to tell us what the greatest threats we faced were. Remember what they said? They said climate. And so people they think well, climate's a distinct thing. It relates to our security. What they talked about was that as the global warming occurs and seas rise, you're going to see migrations of millions of people to other parts because, for example, in the Indian Ocean, you're going to find there are places where they're going to be underwater. You're going to find, and remember in Darfur what happened, that chaos and the genocide that occurred among a population that was all African, but based on religion. What was it about? It was about non-arable land. They were fighting over what was left because of the droughts that occurred. And so what I want to say is what you've always talked about, that these things are connected to our security. It's not just the morally right thing to do. If they're not cared for, they end up in our lap, no matter what it is. 4 million Uyghurs being put in concentration camps in the western mountains of China. And the president of the United States today, Trump, saying, I'm not going to press you on that. Give me a trade deal. Come on. What happens when that system breaks down? Where do people go? We saw what happened in Afghanistan. We saw what happened with the phenomenal movement of refugees across the nation, across Europe. And so there is a direct connection. And the way you governed, was so proud to be with you, was a direct connection between things that don't seem to have anything to do with our security, but have everything to do with our security. Not just the morally right thing to do, the necessary thing to do for our own safety's sake. I was really proud to serve with you.
That's why we need you as president, Joe Biden. And that's why I want everybody who's on, let's get to work. It's been great being with you.
Good to see you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Love you, Joe.
Love you too, pal.